Hello and welcome to what will hopefully be the first of a number of videos on this channel, the aim of which is to provide both entertainment and education on a number of subjects. In the coming weeks I am hoping to upload a couple of response videos to get the ball rolling. Eventually, once I'm more familiar with the video editing process, I'll be making video series which will hopefully, and I say hopefully, provide people with valuable information, as well as a bit of entertainment. Whilst I'm sure much of what I produce has already been covered by the myriad of users here on YouTube, I'm also hoping that some of what I put forward will be new to people and add to the plethora of debates that are ongoing on YouTube, or possibly even start some new ones. The forthcoming videos will reflect my own variety of interests. Specifically, I hope to be able to comment on such topics as, and this isn't in any specific order, religion, which seems to be the major field of debate here on YouTube. There are a number of fine people on both sides of the debate who are creating a lively, if often antagonistic atmosphere. I shall endeavour to add my own voice to the choir. I have no doubt that some of what I say will be considered offensive by a number of people. However, I have found that anything which is truly worth saying will usually offend someone. I can only assure you that anything opined on this channel will not have the intention of being offensive. This may, however, be an inevitable result of what can often be a very fraught issue, especially if you're a religious believer. One seriously neglected area of study amongst posts on here is that which uses the umbrella term of classical studies. It's difficult, really, to overstate the impact of Greek and Roman culture on the modern world. Indeed, the formation of the two most popular intellectual topics on YouTube, those being science and Christianity, cannot be discussed without an understanding of the classical world, or at least they cannot be discussed intelligently. When I get around to making that series, I'm not sure. Moving on, philosophy is what I do for a living. So at least one of the response videos I have planned will be an initial incursion into the philosophical arena here on YouTube. Whilst the majority of philosophical content on YouTube up to this point has focused on what one might term religious issues, that is to say, the metaphysical, ethical and epistemological disagreements between either various religious camps or religious proponents and atheists, there's also a decent amount of content that covers a broader spectrum of philosophical issues. I have every intention of sinking my teeth into some of those meatier issues. If you're not sure what I'm talking about when I say a broader perspective of philosophical debate, then the person to look to is Sisyphus Redeemed, who has a very good channel going on over there. He's produced some excellent content. My specific field of interest is philosophy of mind. In case you're not really familiar with philosophy of mind, it's the field which relates to such things as mind-body dualism. That's the argument that mind is a separate substance from body and the two interact in some way. You'll also have questions of whether the mind, as we call it, can be reduced solely to brain activity, and questions as basic as what it is we mean when we speak of mind, exactly how far mind can be extended and what are the parameters that we're talking about there. Equally important when we're talking about human beings and what they are is ethics. In fact, how we see ourselves is often largely decided by our image of ourselves as moral people. Asking why we are, how we are and who we are is largely talk of who we are as moral creatures. It brings up a set of questions and puzzles that are fundamental to our understanding of ourselves and our own motivations. Our morality, I would suggest, is central to our humanity. Finally, one area I consider to be of serious importance on YouTube is the philosophy of science. Whilst science is generally very well covered on YouTube, the underpinnings of the validity of science seem to be very often misunderstood. Given that science is so very important to the views of so many of the people who post on here, I've been very surprised by the apparent disinterest in the arguments surrounding science and enterprise. I hope to, if only in a very small way, put forward some views that may rectify the apparent apathy towards philosophy of science. That is about it. Well done if you've managed to sit through all that, and welcome to the channel. If you've heard anything during the introduction that's intrigued you, then please watch this space and more videos will be forthcoming. I'm afraid I'm yet to come up with any kind of pithy signing off catchphrase, so I will quite simply leave you in the company of my cat. Welcome aboard.